Hello, 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 beautiful people. This is Toria Howard, and I am the real estate educator here to educate you with another video showing you how to become financially aware when you're talking about buying real estate. I am the real estate educator, and I assist families and individuals on how to increase their financial IQ in order for them to invest in themselves to purchase a personal property or an investment property. So wherever you are, I can meet you where you are. And I'm a licensed real estate agent here in Michigan, in the beautiful city of Detroit and the surrounding areas. But just because I am in Detroit does not mean I cannot help you. I have relationships with real estate agents all across this country, from east, west, north, south, midwest, you name it. I know someone. So you can definitely tap in with me to get your pathway to your keys. So let's get into it again. This week we're talking about buying your home is a financial decision, not an emotional one. A lot of people get so emotional when they're buying their first home because it's so many emotions that come into it. There's so many factors, there's so many people involved. It's your family. You want to make sure you're satisfying yourself, your family, and have all your wants met, and and thinking about all of the things that you need in order for you to be, great, right? And all that you want in this home. But you have to start somewhere. So if you're a first-time home buyer, if you're a seasoned home buyer and you're looking to be better in home buying, this is for you. So if emotions are driving you on your home search, your finances will pay for it later. And that's not what we want. We don't want the finances to pay. You want the house to pay you. So let's talk about how to buy smart without killing your dream. And that's what it is. Like everybody has this dream home concept. And a lot of people have champagne taste with a beer budget. And unfortunately, a lot of people miss out on purchasing this is a starter home. You don't have to stay there forever. This starting somewhere because of that attitude. And that's one of the first things that you have to clear. Your mindset has to change. Your mindset has to look at it. You have to buy it as an investor. You have to look at it as this is a business deal because you're signing contracts for one. And for two, this is something that's going to help elevate you and not hinder you. And that's why you want to look at when you buy your home. So why emotions cost buyers money? So overbidding, but a lot of times that is because we want something so bad that we think we have to overpay for it. And that's not necessarily true, especially in real estate. Everything is negotiable. So you don't want to overpay for something because you think that you're not going to get it. You want to make sure that that price, that the house is worth what you're asking for, and you want to pay less for it. Even if it's something that you dreamed about all your whole entire lifetime in your brain on your vision board, you still want to get it for less. So ignoring red flags, especially in these newer build homes that are not brick and not solid foundations and these different type of things, you have to go in looking at every single detail, not getting rose-colored glasses because you see the beautiful kitchen, not, looking at the floors, looking at the walls, the outside, any cracks, anything that could, distort the home and make it a repair situation for you. And that's why you hire a great team. So because you should have a real estate agent that'll point some of those things out to you, like myself. So you need to make sure that you are not ignoring the red flags because you look at something and they just give you this feeling of emotion. Because when we fall in love, isn't it a great feeling? Falling in love is such a great feeling, but once you get in it and figure out what the real deal is, then sometimes it's not a good feeling. But that's the same thing what happens with a home, because this is one of the biggest investments that you're going to make. And I know people say, oh, a home is a liability. They're trying to talk you out of your generational wealth. Stop the noise and buy you a home. Learn how to use a financial strategy to turn it from a liability to asset. And then a lot of people stretch their budget because they figure they can't find what they want in the price range, in which they should know they can afford. And they stretch their budget. And you're talking about people living 60, 70, 80% of their income on their mortgage. that's not that's not how we want to live because we want to keep and maintain a lifestyle that we want to enjoy. We have things that we want to experience. We have things that we want to do. We have children we have to take care of that needs things. So you can't just spend all your money on housing. So people go on Pinterest and the HGTVs and you fantasize about all these things that you want, but that doesn't pay the mortgage. You need to make sure that you understand what the real deal is. So emotional traps buyers fall into. These are some things that buyers fall into. So this feels like home. I tell you, if you come in there, it feels all cozy, especially when you pull up to it and you like, yeah, this looks good, whatever. And it's like, oh, it feels like home, but is it home? Okay. We'll figure it out later. We just, we want all these things and we'll just figure it out later. No, you need to know your numbers up front. Rates will drop. Now, rates have dropped. We are in some markets and some lenders are getting things done under 6%. And that's been low from the last few years. So it's not that rates are not dropping, but it's an everyday situation. So you have to get in at the right time. So, and lock that in. So, what does strategic buyers do instead? So, first and foremost, they think like an investor. And when you think like an investor, one of the things investors always know is their exit strategy and their numbers, right? So, you have to know your numbers first. You have to know what you can afford. So, think about it in this sense, right? You're paying rent right now. You might be paying $1,400 a month. You paying $300 for utilities, and that's comfortable for you. So technically, your housing cost is and renter's insurance, few bucks. Probably like $30. So you're paying $1,600 a month, and that's comfortable for you. But then you go and you find a house and you have to pay $200,000 a month just for the principal and the principal's interest and the taxes and insurance. And that's not factoring in your utilities or your repair fund. That's where you get into not knowing your numbers. So margins built in. So you need to know with your exit strategy. Are you going to be able to sell it in a few years? Is it going to appreciate? Most homes in Detroit right now are appreciating from 7 to 10% on average. Neighborhoods, homes in the neighborhoods. In the outskirts, we got people doing 15 to 20% appreciation. So you want to buy in an area that's constantly growing and constantly knowing what that's going to look like. So the thing is, when your house value goes up, your taxes go up. So you have to put that buffer in. So knowing how much your home is going to appreciate per year will help you factor in those tax costs as well, because that's going to go up. So you know how much you can sell it for. How much you can rent it for. You should know if you rent out a room, you should know all these, know different angles of the things that will make your house money. And if you buy it right, your appreciation is going to help you get more equity to invest in other things. And don't forget your exit strategy all the time. You have to have one. So know what you want to do. If this is something you're going to start and you're going to stay here for 2-3 years, then know that you should be buying an area that has rapid appreciation or buying in a growing area where developers are coming within those years. Just like here in the Joe Louis Greenway. The Joe Louis Greenway is a walking path that's going to stretch for 28 miles. Okay. It's 27 zip codes. Okay, you might as well say 30 miles. 28 zip codes, 27 zip codes in that area from east side to downtown Detroit, all the way west side, all the way to Dearborn. Buying in that area, those areas is a good investment because you'll be able to have a great exit strategy: rental, short-term rental, appreciation, or selling. Get the equity. All of those things factor in. And if you're buying in the outskirts, you want to make sure that appreciation is up there. I know, like in Royal Oak, you got appreciation going at like 15 to 20%. Bloomfield Hills is around the same thing. So you need to make sure that you're buying correctly and knowing your exit strategy and know how your house is going to grow in value. You got only can predict it. of course. So how education changes this experience. So the more educated, the more you know, right? The more you grow, the more you glow. So once you are more educated, your confidence replaces anxiety. So you need to understand that when you have the education, your confidence is there and you understand your what you're doing more, what your numbers you're doing, and all of the things that you're trying to do. So the more education you have, the more confidence you have in negotiating your deals, meeting with realtors and lenders and telling them exactly what you want because you know already the education. And like I said, negotiation becomes better when you know. When you know that, that the house is not worth what they're asking, they got things that you want to update that's not fully updated, you should know that. And then, stop chasing listings. You don't have to chase anything. What's for you will be for you and it will come to you. So you need to make sure that you're understanding that just because it's like maybe your dream or whatever, but it might not be in your budget. Make sure that you're understanding that you can still get the things that you want, but you also need to focus on the things that you need. Bedroom, bathroom count. I know I can't share another bathroom with my teenage daughter. So I know I need two bathrooms, right? Know that you need a common area, a flex space, a basement space. You want those things. So as long as it has the things that you need and some of the things that you want, you can add the things that you want later. That's what your equity is used for. That's what smart investing is done for, right? Used for. So I just want to tell you that you can become a homeowner with a financial plan and buy smart and become your own investor by thinking like an investor, knowing your numbers, knowing your margins, knowing your exit strategy, and understand how your home is going to appreciate over the years. So my program, Pathway to Keys, gives you the clarity before emotions get enter the room. You want to make sure that you don't have the emotions while you have the education. So make sure that you're doing what you're supposed to do by booking your session today. The link will be in my description section. So dream homes feel better when the numbers make sense. The numbers have to make sense because you still want to do your lunches and brunches and shop and get your hair cut, get your nails done, get your hair done, get your massages. We got to have experience. And oh, we got to have those decadent vacations, right? So book your Pathway to Keys session today and buy with confidence. Have an amazing day and definitely check out my other videos. Get more and more education. The more you know, the more you grow and glow.